Tonight, when you have your dinner, just try to remember that there are millions in this world who will be sleeping on an empty stomach. FAO says, which is a UN body, that the world has enough food to feed everyone on this planet. If you talk about the total amount of food available to us in terms of the output, then every human being on this planet can be given 2700 calories per day, which is an adequate amount. But this is not happening. This is not happening because millions of people are still living in chronic hunger. In 2012, when we had reached Millennium Development Program, the first leg of the MDP, Millennium Development Program, before target, because the first leg of MDP was to reduce extreme poverty by half. This was the target, and this was to be achieved by 2015, and by 2030, the second leg, by the end of the second leg, we have decided, and it's an ongoing process now, that we will be completely eradicating poverty and food problems. So we achieved our target in 2012, which was good news for all of us. But are we really on course to meet our 2030 target is something we must introspect on. Because I think going by this lifestyle and the current scenario of the world, we will not be reaching the 2030 target, and we will be left with no other option but to forge the data to show the world that we have achieved the target. Because last year itself, 800 million people suffered hunger and poverty. Why is this happening? There are n number of ways to debate on this topic. Because after all, the last year's World Inequality report says that the top 10% own 76% of the wealth. I'm not going into these data and these details. I'm only concerned about food, because all other problems can be debated and mutually amicably discussed in this world. But food, this is a basic human right. Everyone who is coming to this world, they have this basic human right to have food. So one of the reasons, and this is my personal opinion, one of the reasons why this inequality in terms of food, because FAO is saying that we have enough food to feed everyone, but still we are not able to feed, is the rise in number of restaurants all over the world. This is my personal opinion. You will ask, why is this even a point that is coming to your mind? I will tell you what is my problem with the restaurants. I have nothing against any restaurants. May this industry thrive. But what is happening, what I see is this. When we go to the restaurants, we are served plates like this. And on every meal of one such plate, do you have any idea how much amount of food are we wasting? The restaurants industry all over the world, they are losing $162 billion in value because of food wastage, and 1.4 billion tons of food we are wasting. So when we talk about food crisis and the fact that close to 1 billion people are still living in chronic hunger, we try to dodge off this question by saying this is a bigger problem, this is a world scale problem, and there are world leaders who are working on it. There's United Nations and FAO and all other bodies who are working on it. How can we solve the problem? I wish that this poverty eradication should happen, but I don't know what to do, because this is a problem for which we have dedicated world leaders. I cannot do anything. I will tell you exactly what you can do on your part today. When you go to the restaurants, what you will see that on this plate, you will have foods like this. Of course, you will not have banana, I know. You will have obnoxious foods on your plate. That is also one of the reasons for greenhouse emissions, but I'm not going into that debate. But personally, I love fruits, so I will tell you what we are doing. This is just a sample, and what we are doing with food is this. We will take the food, we'll have one bite, And that's it. We will keep it. We will have our interactions. We will have uh, our talks with our friends, family members, office colleagues, and then more often than not, we try to waste it. In many cases, this is straight away going to the drain. In most of the cases, and this is probably going to the landfill. Again, a problem. What about water? Because when you ask for water, they will give you a glass full of water. Certainly not this. They will give you a bigger glass. And more often than not, you just take a sip. That's it. And you say thank you. And because of this etiquette of taking one sip and saying thank you, trying to pretend this monarch lifestyle, something like what was shown in Titanic movie when Jack is feeling terribly isolated, yeah, surrounded by the royals, the way they are eating sophisticated, in sophisticated manner, and he's feeling terribly isolated. So in that kind of sophisticated artificial body languages, we tend to do this. We think this is very, very elite and aristocratic, but this is silly, downright foolish. We take one sip, and we say thank you, and that's it. Do you think anybody is going to drink this water? This water will straight away go into the drains, not even to the plants. This will go into the drains. And if you think why wasting water is a problem at all, I want to tell you that there are many, many places till today all over the world where people don't have access to drinking water, basic access to drinking water. And we are, in these colorful plates, we are wasting water like anything. All of us are wasting water in restaurants, and this is a big blot on all of us. If you think that these people will eat the remaining foods, the restaurant staff, you're wrong. More often than not, as far as I have interacted with so many people, the restaurants, waiters and the staffs, they don't eat. Most of the time they say we straight away we dump it into the kitchen. So food is still okay. They might eat it, but what about water? Nobody's going to drink your water. Remember this. And also remember that there are many people all around the world who don't have access to drinking water. So the answer to this question as to what we can do to eradicate this inequality and poverty and food shortage is this. The answer is this. Make it a resolve that whenever you are going to any restaurants, and the number of restaurants is increasing all around the world, I don't know for what reason, but whenever you are going to restaurants, only buy that much food which you can completely finish. Make it a resolve. After 2 or 3 times, you will see that you will stop ordering excess food, because now you know that last time you ordered excess food and you could not finish the plate. So my only humble request to everyone on this planet is this: finish your plates. You eat as much as you want, nobody is stopping you because you have the money. But you finish your plate, finish the drinks, finish the water, whatever you are ordering. I'm not concerned about other drinks. Water especially, this is precious. Many people in this world, they don't have drinking water. You need to understand this. So finish your water, finish your food. So in an ideal case, I will not be taking one bite and doing this. I will want to completely finish this food on my plate. Imagine that this food is over. I've eaten the entire portions. Now this plate is empty. So when you enter the restaurants, any restaurant or any food joint, you were given an empty plate, isn't it? So why are you leaving the place with a plate that is nastily full, or even half disturbed with all those wastes? So this is something we all at least can start practicing straight away in our life. And if we do this at mass scale, I think this is one way to move towards that direction, where by 2030 we will be completely achieving the Millennium Development Programs. Why I am saying this? What makes me hopeful and optimistic? Because how are you saying? United Nations is saying this, that we have enough output in terms of enough food in terms of output. So everyone can be fed on this planet if you want to. But things like this, taking one bite and just living it, just to show that you are, this is a very, very elite and sophisticated way of living life. This is a major problem. This we have to stop it. Please do this, start from tomorrow. Eat as much as you want, drink as water as much as you want, but you have to ensure that you finish your plate. Do not leave anything to be dumped into the dustbin, which eventually will be dumped into the landfill, which is again a problem, by the way. But you have to finish your plate. This is my only humble request to everyone on this planet. Stop food wastage, please.